So March Madness is truly upon us, and some might be asking, well, why? And we're going to go over that. So let's get some bookkeeping stuff out of the way. Make sure you subscribe, especially if you like the information. Make sure you share it. There's no strings attached, and if you know if somebody's looking at buying or selling, well, they should know about this, and it becomes something that you get in real time. So hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get alerted when we have some of the videos, because we have a number of different videos that happen during the week and whatnot. And this way you're apprised of it and you get great information. As an example, so every week we talk about mortgage rates and everything else. And here's something that's really important. And Dan Golden at Cornerstone Lending and I were having a chat early this morning. Yes, when I had my double espresso, and because it's Saturday. I look forward to Saturdays now. Anyway, got to support the wife, right? Tea during the week, Saturday on coffee. All right. So with that, we got, they got notice, in which then they're letting you know. So as of April 1, so that is April Fool's Day for those that don't know, which also means the joke is on you. Just kidding. We have new lending criteria for non-owner occupied and second home financing. So reading through some of the disclosures or the letter from Fannie Mae, which Freddie Mac is, I am sure, going to follow suit, and a few of the others. So they can only take in 7% of their portfolio for the Treasury, from the mortgage-backed securities. Can only be 7% investor, non-owner occupied, or second home, which means that as of April 1, they're going to tighten them up. It'll be harder to get them. So if you are floating right now and thinking, gosh, I'm going to wait to see what interest rates do, be very careful, because just because April 1, Fannie Mae is saying, hey, here are our guidelines. Lenders make this happen early. That could mean as much as a quarter, a half, or a full point, and up as much as 2 additional points. 1 point is 1%, okay, of the loan balance as a fee, or that could be in rate. So that is going to change. So here's your heads up. If you're bobbling on the fence about rate, you might want to consider locking in. And Dan gives that big, strong thumbs up, and we can go from there. So great information like this, you're going to know before, well, pretty much before anybody else, or if your lender even tells you. This way you will know, right? Okay, so let's get the show on the road, as they say. All right. Oh, Sean or John, I'm not sure what your name was when you called me this morning to, I'm going to say, articulately discuss numbers, statistics. You called from an undisclosed number. You seem to have gotten disconnected. Love to continue that chat. Here's the however. I don't discuss our market on the national level. Yes, we look at the national level, but really it has no bearing on what we do here locally, because as an example, yes, I understand. You gave us a national home price of like $335,000, I think was the number you tossed out. That's not what it is here. We're almost twice that, depending on what area you are in. So I'd love to carry on that conversation, but let's have it more on a local level to where it's relevant. How's that? All right. So, but feel free to give me a call back, or you can text me or post your information, whichever. Love to have that conversation and help you guide your decision process, because that sounded like more of what the concern was, is now or later. So there you go. All right. March Madness. Here we go. Month over month, where inventory is up 11.6%. Okay. So we're looking at March over February. Year over year, we're still down 55%. Okay. Pretty much normal. Again, remember May, we're going to start to see this number start to come down. Not to panic. It is expected. Okay. New on market is up 32.3%, which is awesome. Oh, finally, we're getting more inventory. Still, year over year, we're still down 0.4%. That's 0.4. Put the zero there, so you didn't think it was 4%. It's 0.4, under a 0.5% difference. Pended are up 25.4%, which is, again, consistent with the new homes on market. Why? Well, again, if we use the analogy, people tell me they love the sponge analogy. Well, that's awesome. Okay, so using the sponge analogy, we're pouring more water into that sponge. Well, that sponge is still absorbing water. It's not spilling out over the counter yet. It's still absorbing water, and you can see that they jumped up proportionally. Now, yes, this one didn't jump up quite as much of this, and part of that is based on rate, because there's some buyers out there that are, they're kind of waffling, and yes, rate has a huge impact on sales. It just does. People like to wait. Oh, interest rates are going up. Maybe I should wait. Others are saying they have the fear of missing out. They're, no, got to dive in. And away they go. Okay. But still, that is an impressive number still over to here. And we'll get into this in a second. Year over year, pended sales are up 7.5%. Okay, to be clear, a pended sale, buyer and seller agree to terms, okay, but it hasn't closed yet. So they still have financing, they still have an inspection, they still have contingencies and process before it goes through and hits that bottom line, which is the next line. Solds are up month over month, 10.6%. We expected, okay. Year over year, it's up 11.4%. Again, that momentum is still continuing as expected. Do we expect that number to start jumping up a little bit more? Yeah, I think we're going to see this as a consistency. And actually, as we get into May, I see this number actually coming down. So between now and May, yes, it will continue, I think, around this amount. But after May, as we start to balance out on our numbers, then it will show. And Marie will post this. So as you can see, the numbers here, it's always funny doing that in reverse. There we go. The numbers here, as you can see, over onto there, the light green being active, the dark green being sold, you can see that we're starting to make that adjustment as far as number of sales. And what that means is, as that starts to balance out, because a crazy market and a crazy market equal out to a 2x crazy market. Okay, so I had too much coffee this morning, I guess. It was still fun. Anyway, when we come down here, we take a look at the last 7 days. New on market, 1,419 homes came on market. Okay, well, that's good. Pended, and here's when we come back up to here, when we take a look at these numbers, pended was 1,773 homes came off market, meaning buyer and seller agreed to terms, but hasn't closed yet, whereas we had 1,110 that physically closed, and that's King, Pierce, and Snohomish County. These are the three dominant counties that we monitor. Yes, we do vicariously look at all of them, especially for some of the lenders that we work with, as far as keeping them abreast of market trends, default rates, things like that. Anyway, so here's a funny number. There were 161 homes that reduced their price. And then we had 67 that canceled. And by the way, those were over 40 days on market. Okay. Obviously, those people have not been watching the show, or they would know, as a seller, the kiss of death is to overprice. Hands down, overpricing, bad idea. Why? Because buyers do not come in and make an offer below asking price until you are well on the market, well after typically 20 days, statistically. So that means you're losing a massive amount of market time, and you're losing traction with buyers. And you're going to have to give concessions where before the buyer was giving concessions. Buyers are incredibly smart. Buyers establish the price. If you overprice your home, it will sit there. In fact, Jamie from Stephen and Jamie, they sent me a message saying, George, how can they justify this price? My response was, I have no idea. It is overpriced, and buyers are just that smart. And, they know. They're at home. They are studying the market like we are. Why? Because they don't want to overpay, but that they also want to know, hey, what's this margin that I can escalate my offer to? They're smart, sometimes smarter than some of the agents out there. Sorry, but it is the fact. So anybody who is a seller and is coming on market, do not overprice your home, or you'll become what we call a statistic. Don't be a statistic. All right. So as far as rates go, owner occupied's at 3.125. Yeah, it's been bobbling a little bit. Yeah, it's been going up. Why? Because the bonds haven't been performing very well. The market's been doing relatively well. We're starting to see a little bit of normalcy. And remember, when the bond rates start to come down, when we see mortgage-backed securities start to come down, interest rates go up, right? Because they do this together, all right? Non-owner occupied's at 3.625. That is still awesome. However, remember, April 1, that is going to change, right? You heard it here first. Here's the however. A 10-year ARM right now, if you're going to stay, if you're looking at buying a home and you want to, you're going to live in this home because it has to be owner occupied for this program. And let's say you're going to stay in that home for 10 years or less. And yet you want a really good rate still. We got a fix for you. 2.625 for a 10-year ARM. Dan Golden and I were chatting about that one this morning. Juliana at Qualstar Credit Union, I think they've got something that is similar. But if you have any questions, feel free. I'll have them repost the information for you guys. If you have any questions regarding this or anything else, or John, whatever it was, give me a jingle back. Let's continue that conversation. It was a great chat. And it sounded like you were really trying to define what your next action should be. No strings attached. Love to carry on that conversation. You just called from a block number, so I don't know how to call you back or email you or anything. So anyway, subscribe, share, let us know what you think. Enjoy a beautiful Saturday. In the meantime, you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.